very excited to be joined today with Katie, our new VP of Customer Success here at DigitalOwl.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, very excited, and I'm excited to have you on the team as well now. I know you have a pretty extensive background in the customer success world, so 15 years of experience. Are there any moments that you look back on as kind of being pivotal ones as you got started?
I think it would have to be my first job in a SaaS startup organization. I was fortunate enough that the founders that I've worked with have been very instrumental in how I think about working with customers and how I work with teams. And the very first founder that I worked for had a mentality where he respected everyone around him. He was on a hugging basis with our customers. He knew everybody's name in the company, and that made a very lasting impression on me for how I wanted to treat my teams as well as customers moving forward.
Yeah, definitely feeling that approach with everybody is always really nice.
Exactly.
It's clear through that authenticity is such an important piece of the customer success journey. Mm-hmm. And I know you've talked a little bit in the past about these kind of like in-between moments that you have with clients and how important those moments can be too. So how do you see that fitting into kind of like your philosophy as you're getting started here?
Change is hard, right? And people are coming to us looking for a solution, and we are helping them through that change management. If we don't approach that in a very authentic way, people will know, right? You can always snuff out somebody who is just speaking from the heart versus speaking from a script. Mm-hmm. And that's what we aim for, making sure that people can come to us on a regular basis when things continue to get hard, as we continue to change, and we are helping them evolve into that next stage.
Yeah. And I think something that ties right into the authenticity in these conversations is transparency. Mm-hmm. And I know that a proactive approach is something that's really important to us as we kind of grow and evolve. So how are you kind of making efforts within DigitalOwl to approach a proactivity and conversation with clients?
The first step is to listen, and then implement something that is going to help people think proactively throughout their change management journey. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of the big difference in the approach, ties in the authenticity. If you come in with a template and a rubric, it's gonna fail. Like, there's gonna be things that you didn't anticipate, there's gonna be things that you didn't think about, and you have to bake in the component that people are telling you what's going on, and you need to take that into consideration.
And also knowing that AI can be kind of sensitive in the world that we're approaching. Yeah. How do you approach customer success, and knowing we're coming in, we're really automating processes that people have in place, we're like innovating, and we know that we are kind of on the cutting edge in that sense. So how does that shape how you view customer success, or does it change in an AI-driven product?
Yeah, I think that it all comes down to trust. AI is the latest thing that we need to consider when building that trust factor. When our operational teams use an AI tool, they're finding very quickly that it is something that is actually easier to trust because it's giving them real, authentic answers. We've used tooling for a long time that didn't use AI, and the answers that those tools gave were inadequate. But we found ways to create meaning and worth out of those tools because that's all we had. Now you can have AI-driven responses that are more thoughtful, more complete, more thorough. And so it's easier for our operational teams to see that, but we all kind of revert back to, but what about, what is AI going to do with this? Or how's it going to respond to that? And it's just helping teams through that fear factor. So again, the trust component, and then helping people better understand the parameters and the limitations that AI still has, but the helpfulness that it's going to offer the operational teams.
Yeah, definitely making sure we're covering any questions, concerns they have, and helping them work through that as they kind of get started.
Exactly. Everybody's going to have questions, right? Mm-hmm. So making sure that they bring us into those conversations so that we can help them with those questions, because there's going to be different teams with different needs, and we are well versed to be able to handle those questions. We don't expect an operational team member to come in and know all of this. That's why we're here.
As DigitalOwl continues to evolve, we know that we are really changing kind of the way a lot of these companies are structuring their processes. We are inserting ourselves a little bit there. What are you most excited about in terms of working with these customers and introducing DigitalOwl to their teams?
I really enjoy the change management component. It takes a lot for people or an organization to change. And by the time a customer has come to us and said, we're ready to take on something new, that's a very exciting admission, because it means that they're willing to take their organization to a level that they haven't been at previously, and they want to partner with us to do that.
And even being a part of seeing some of those changes happen, meeting with clients over time, and they come back to us with that same excitement as when we first introduced the product, because they're seeing the results. It is like one of the most fun parts of the job for me.
The evolution of the champions that bring our tool forward is something that really excites me, because it means we're on the right track.
Yeah. So we know one of the most important parts of customer success is building those really strong, solid customer relationships.
Yeah.
So if you have to give one piece of advice to a team that is really looking to excel in customer success, what would that be?
It would definitely be to be an empathetic listener. You know, I still go back to that. A lot of the startup organizations that have been hugely successful, they couldn't follow a rule book that somebody else used, right? They had to be groundbreakers, they had to be thoughtful, and they had to really think outside the box. So that's something that I would consider is empathetic listening, understanding your business, understanding your customers, and that's how you're going to propel the next wave for your organization and for your customer base, not through a program.
Yeah, no, understood. And I even feel that being a member of your team, so very much appreciate that.
Yeah.
Katie, thank you again so much for joining us. I am so glad that you are part of the team here and just can't wait to see how things continue to evolve.
I'm very excited to be a part of the team. Thank you for chatting with me today, and very excited to see what we can do next.